Relocation Engineering, and we are proposing to bring UTEP School of Pharmacy to campus. My name is Ivan Ramirez,
Weston Chenausky,
Pedro Delgado,
Mendoza,
Fernando Perez, and we will begin our presentation.
The general description of our project is bringing the UTEP School of Pharmacy, currently located in Campbell Building, in Campbell Street, and Arizona Street, into campus. The location for the new School of Pharmacy will be the current Carl Herzog building site. How we're going to accomplish this is we're going to demolish the current Carl Herzog building and build a new 5-story building that will accommodate the UTEP School of Pharmacy and the current Carl Herzog building residents. The reason we wanted to do this is it was brought to our attention that the UTEP School of Pharmacy was not located inside the campus. When we toured the Campbell building, we noticed that the classroom conditions were not adequate enough for a good education experience. We noticed that they had minimal lab space. We noticed that they had close to none study space or any space to hang out and do some homework study, as well as we noticed they had any food accommodations. So bringing them to campus will give them access to the UTEP's accommodations, food accommodations, facilities that the campus offers.
So here you can see our general layout of our building. As you can see the front view and side view. We estimate an occupancy of 1,200 people and a safety occupancy of 2,400 people. Here we have our first floor plan. We were able to keep the environmental health and safety office as well as the print shop that is currently located in the Carl Herzog building. We also added the convenience store and a lobby space. As you can see in the northwest corner, we have 2 elevators and a staircase. That is also the same for the southeast corner. And we also have a staircase running through the center of our floor plan. Here's our second and third floor plan. We have simulation pharmacies, classrooms, and study space. Our fourth floor plan will have research labs, study rooms, and classrooms. And finally, our fifth floor plan will have faculty offices and the School of Pharmacy office, as well as study space. As you can see here, this is our site plan. The proposed is the darker color. We were able to keep 173 parking spaces that is currently at our site. We didn't take any parking space away, which this will make up 14% of the occupancy of our building. We also were able to add 3,400 square feet of additional landscaping, as well as an additional unloading station for any packages or deliveries to our building.
Utilizing a triple GPS tracker and QGIS, we were able to plot our elevations that we found. As seen on the left-hand side, we have a cut and fill need for the different elevations, the red indicating a higher elevation and the white indicating a lower elevation. Utilizing the Schuster parking floor logs and the interdisciplinary research building floor logs, we were able to find our major soil profiles. Here on the right-hand side, you can see the asphalt, which is 5 inches thick. Then we have a 15 feet thick clay soil, clay sand, and 10 feet at the site. For our foundations, we are utilizing 2 different types of footings. We have our spread footings indicated in the northwest and then the southeast corners of our building. And then we have 48 different square isolated footings. For our isolated square footings, we have a load of 1,000 kips and a factor safety of 3. From there, we are able to find our bearing capacity acquired, which is 20.19 kips per feet squared, which is greater than our minimum bearing capacity, as well as our settlement, which is 2.37 inches. From our Geo5 software, we were able to find that it is less than the allowable settlement, which is 2.6 inches, and double check our reinforcement, which passes, and we are able to find 16 number 8 bars, 8 in each direction. For our continuous footing, we have a load of 55.55 kips per feet with, again, a factor safety of 3. From there, we are able to get our required 19.31 kips per feet squared. Again, that is greater than our minimum bearing capacity, as well as our settlement, which is 0.93 inches, less than our allowable settlement, 2.6 inches. And then we found our reinforcement, which is 20 number 8 bars, 10 in each direction.
For the skeleton of our structure will be composed of concrete. We're going to have 24 by 30 foot bays. Beams will span 30 feet while girders will span 24 feet. We started the design by putting our loads together, wind, gravity, as well as seismic. We're using ASC 716. We're using to get the loads, or to get the loads, yes. We use section 27-4.4 to get wind and 12.8 to get seismic. We also, and then using ACI 318 to get the dimensions and area steel for each of the beams, girders, and columns. We also use stack connect to help get some of the minimum area of steels for the columns. And you can see here on the table, we calculate deflection using the dead plus full live loads. And on the right side, using table 14.2.2 to get the allowable, and which satisfies our actual deflections. For the exterior wall, we're going to be using a stove power wall, which is has a high energy efficient wall system. This wall was selected because it keeps with the UTEP master plan of having a stucco wall finish. On the right side, you can see the beams profiles for beams, girders, and columns. Beams and girders will differ depending on the level. We're going to have a 4-inch slab that will rest upon the girders and beams for levels 1 through 5, as well as a 6-inch slab on grade slab. Columns would be the same throughout the entirety of the building.
For our stormwater management system, we'll be keeping the existing management system, which consists of stormwater drains located on the parking lot over site that gather the water and redirect the water into Ring Road that runs down into 2 other stormwater drains that drain into the UTEP Arroyo. As well as we'll be adding Chihuahuan desert plants such as the Texas Mountain Laurel and the Century plant into the new added landscape area. For our traffic control plan, we'll be closing the adjacent sidewalks of our site, except for a small portion on the northeast side of our site, as well as we'll be closing a section of Rim Road into Williams Road, and the sidewalk to the southwest of our site will remain open for the flow of pedestrian traffic. The current environmental health and safety office located in the Culture building will be relocated into the Campbell building for the duration of the project, and the print shop will be relocated into the library.
The building will cost an estimated $65.5 million. The way we calculated this was using RS needs based on the 2011 index based in the El Paso region. Since we did use the 2011 index, we used an inflation rate of 35% using the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics information. As you guys can see here, there's a table broken down of all our items that we priced, and there's a more detailed version of this in our report. This project was estimated to last 4 years. It's a total of 1,044 working days. The way we calculated this was using 5-day working weeks. We included holidays based on U.S. federal holidays, weather days using a text table based in the El Paso region, and we added a free float of 93 days for any unexpected delays. Before we conclude our presentation, we would like to give some acknowledgments to our UTEP staff, Dr. Widener, that helped us week in and week out with everything. Dr. Vicky Howe, she was our main point of contact from the UTEP School of Pharmacy. She gave a tour and she gave out a survey. Dr. O'Dreary that lent us his surveying equipment for our geotechnical, and Dr. Moyer that helped us with our geostructural, and our external resources, Mr. Matt Miller and Zachary Kennedy from Jacobs that helped with our structural aspect of our project, Mr. Christian Wong that's right here that helped with our, from the Texas Department of Transportation that helped with our estimate and our schedule. And with that, we would like to conclude our presentation. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, we would like to open it up now. Thank you.
We had a couple evaluators come in, so real quick, we have Francis Cadnack from DPS, structural engineer. Francis, after they're done, how do you move over here, okay?
Sure. Yeah, I didn't want to.
Yeah, that's fine. And Isabel Gonzalez from BTC, who's also on the general contracting side, so you can move over when we're done as well. So, okay, questions. Dr. Howe, do you have anything you want to say first? What do you think? Do you like the floor plan, the layout? Do you like your office on the 5th floor?
I do like my office. I would be intrigued to see more about those classrooms and what they need. Yes, you're right, our classroom space in Campbell is very limited, but I'll defer to the engineers to run their questions.
Thank you, Dr. Hall.
Rick, you want to kick off, or?
Yeah, I thought the plan set, if I look at the drawings, were really well done, very professional looking. I just had a couple of questions, some of those plans. When you have your gutter elevations, you have like a splice, 1 foot 2, how did y'all figure that out?
That's the development plan.
Yeah, I do that.
Got it from, I would have to double check in the calculations, there's, what code I use. I can't name it off the top of my head, but I use it.
I think, I was confused on your column, it shows column profile all heights, and it has, 6, 8 bars. No, it's 10, but I think your drawing that you showed up here shows that you have like 8 and 8. And so there's more, than accounted for.
In the column.
Yeah, in the column.
Using 10 number 8s.
Yes, because when you look at that and you look at your footing, the footing shows that the footprint is different than what you're showing that there.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to make a match.
Okay, so are you talking about, that the number 8 bars aren't displaying here on the slab?
Yeah, well, on the number of bars that you have, the vertical bars for your columns,
Okay,
they don't match the footprint that you're showing on your square footing.
okay,
And all columns are the same, right?
right,
So, it just, the numbers are off,
okay.
just correctly. But, other than that, I'd say it's a really good set of cards.
Thank you, we'll take a look.
You said that your column loads were 1,000 hips,
Yes,
and you had shallow foundations,
yes,
and then you had a settlement at 2.37 inches.
yes.
How did you determine that, where did the 2.6 inches come from?
So that's actually from, building, the allowable settlement for buildings by McDonald and, another guy named Skempton. And that's just from that specific book.
Okay. Did you consider using deep foundations?
Yes, we actually played with the idea of driving piles all the way down to the andesite and doing something like that, but we found that this was easier for us to be able to calculate settlement and to kind of tie into the superstructure.
Isaac, do you have anything to add, Mr. Rick?
Let's go back to the beam sections that you have there. So you're showing 11, or number 11s, 3 number 11s in a 1 foot beam. It's gonna be really hard to get your concrete around. Isabel knows, we did a parking garage and we crammed way too much reinforcement in it at one point, and, yeah, that's something you need to look at. It's your bar diameter, so you need to check your spacing between your reinforcement. If there's not enough space, you can do 2 layers of reinforcement.
Okay.
So that's something to
And
consider.
I think the reinforced concrete, it has a table that shows how much bars you can put. I think I have my spacing between the bars on, so I'll double check on that.
Yeah, cause I would check on that. It's gonna be really hard to get the concrete around it, and you'll end up with honeycombing and stuff like that when you build it.
Thank you.
I have a question on the traffic control. You said the duration of the construction is expected to be, 4 years? Do you expect to have closed that section those 4 years? Cause I know it's a good thing that you're opening up to pedestrians, because there's a lot of interaction with the parking that's on the other side. I was just wondering if you looked at the traffic that is using that street, particularly, I don't know how many vehicles actually go through. But I'd be a little bit concerned of how vehicles that for some reason are going in, it seems like really tight for them to maybe U-turn to exit. So I was wondering if you consider closing that fully, partially, or how was the idea behind it?
We plan on closing it for the 4 years, just due to the safety of building up and having traffic there, it's not safe. And we plan on using the entrance from Sumble and having them, because all the traffic that goes there is for the print shop, and since we were relocating them to the library, that was the intent, so they would have to go to the other side.
And to to add on to him, as far as the traffic going in and out of this specific location, there's a gate further up here that you can't really see that will be blocked off to not allow people to go in through there, and they can only go up, north through the computer science building and the engineering building that goes straight all the way to the art building. And then on the north part towards the library, there's a space where we can close it down and cars have that accessibility to be here.
Right. Will you be, blocking any of those parking spaces just in front of the library? Or the ones that you can see there as parallel parking?
Okay.
Okay, just cause I know parking can be a little bit sensitive subject. All right. And the other thing related to parking is, I'm curious to see if you looked at, removing Campbell. I know they have their own parking spaces and everything. And now in theory, you'd be moving all those new students that are coming to this facility, to the existing parking, infrastructure that you have. Do you know that's gonna impact?
So Campbell Building currently has 45 parking spots inside the campus, and then the rest of the people have to park in the streets. So we have 173 parking spaces, and we have noticed that that parking lot is underutilized. We would have to make count to see how accurate, underutilized it is. But we plan on bringing them into the underutilized parking spaces, and then having students, use other UTEP parking facilities to park at campus.
Yeah, cause I see that you get more parking here, but I was just concerned that, it's not like a student can go and park there.
No.
So I was just wondering if that was thrown into balance, okay, that was, thank you.
Okay, we have time for one more question with this group.
I have a question, have you, in the 4 years of construction, have you considered, the pandemic impact
No, sir.
on materials and so forth?
We had the free float of 93 days. But other than that, free float of unexpected delays, that's all we have.
I ask that question because that's one of the things that I hear all the time about construction being delayed, because of the material availability, that's all.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We actually still have time for one more question.
I have one question. Do you guys consider any improvements to the sidewalks, for the new buildings?
So our plan for the parking lot and the sidewalks, we were gonna demolish and, we're gonna repave the parking lot and redo the sidewalks as well as the, landscaping.
And to follow up on the question for the parking spaces, do you guys use any parking generation manuals for calculating the parking spaces?
For sizing?
For the parking, stalls?
I utilized, transportation class. So, I utilized, Dr. Chu's books.
And we used, it's on our, report, I just can't say it off the top of my head, but we used, something for 88, so we have 688 parking spaces.
Okay. Great job.
Okay, thank you. Oh, you have another one?
Can you go back to the engineering fees?
Now you're running over already, yeah.
How did you come up with that? 'Cause it's really generous.
We agreed on it. So we had a percentage each.
For yourselves, I guess.
Yes, sir.
You wanted to be employed. Alright.
I'm making a note to not pay yourself so much, and your chance for revision.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.